Ready, dog?
It's raining.
Welcome to the where the moon landings were filmed.
I've seen worse.
The
good thing is he tends a lot of farmland around here, so he's used to. I'm used to this kind of. He's used to this type.
I'm actually used to bigger rocks.
Bigger rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, even better. I'm Jeff. Nice to meet you.
How you doing? Brandon Creech.
Nice to meet you.
He can't
Oh,
go
Creech, you related to the Bryans?
No, sir.
Okay.
He can't go anywhere with a camera either.
Okay, he's one of them.
Look, people want to know what's happening.
Are you documenting your life, your whole life?
Yeah. No, I'm documenting I'm just riding Chris's coattails.
Oh, okay. You trying to get some of that YouTube money?
Yeah. So I can afford
This
Chris.
is how it works. It's like you'll explain it, and he'll comprehend none of it. So he'll go back this evening and watch it and be like,
That's what it was. Yeah, I got
Google it.
Quick notes.
Yeah,
Quick notes.
I gotta take it in.
It does work.
Yeah.
I got the mic turned around so they don't hear my heavy breathing.
Gasping for air.
Yeah, Chris trying to work me to death.
I had to walk about 200 feet, and he was like,
Yeah.
I can't breathe through my nose, so it makes it hard.
So it even catches me, like if I'm walking and talking, I run out of breath.
Yeah.
But
So what do you think?
I was like, this is the dirt we started with, and then when it rains on it, it turns to this. So
Yeah.
this is what caught me off guard is we clear it, it looks, it looks pretty good. It's got a lot of red clay in it, not much topsoil at all. But once you grade it out and it rains on it for 6 months, it turns to...
Yeah. I mean, the problem is it just don't have any organic matter.
Yeah.
You have no nutrients.
Right.
For every percent of organic matter releases so many nutrients a year into the ground, and when there's zero, there's nothing.
It's kind of hard to compound off of zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough.
That and it's pine trees. That don't help the soil.
Pine trees runs the ground acidic. Pine straw, as it decays and breaks down, it just drops low. Just tanks to pH.
Right.
So chipping this up, being pine trees, and spreading it back out, and
That would have
disking
been
it in,
terrible.
it would be terrible.
Well, in the long term, 20 years from now, it'd be great. It's the first years. Because see, you take so much nitrogen to break down wood chips.
Yeah.
I mean, to break down wood chips, you pretty much got to compost them. And you need nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon, and that's the carbon. But, the nitrogen's got to come somewhere. So,
Yeah.
I mentioned that farm up here that I attend, and you see where the guy put all the wood chips in the back.
And you said that was by far one of the worst.
It's a disaster now. You can't get on it, and it's just still wood chips,
Right.
10 years from now, it'd be wonderful once it decays and breaks down.
Yeah, but what happens, it rots down, it turns to the blackest, slickest mud you've ever seen.
Yeah, and the water can't penetrate it.
Yeah.
You still got, if you could go in there and till it real deep and mix all that in, yeah, it would help. But
Gotcha. That's what people are talking about, turning it, and like you got to do compost.
That's why I recommend putting compost, because that's
done for you.
Accelerated, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, instead of taking 20 years, it takes 2 months to make.
Well, I think what we want to do, Chris can tell me if he's got a different idea. I think what we want to do is roughly 50 feet around the pond.
Yeah.
And then starting where the inlet is over there at the solar panels, that whole hill. And then, the road's going to come down there. But in between there.
There's a road coming down that tree line over there that I cleared. And then there's going to be another driveway that comes down that tree line. His house is going to sit up there. So that everything where that tree and that bicycle is going to get destroyed. So really not too worried about that right now. But
and then where we're standing is going to get, because we're going to start
technically somebody else's lot. So
Right.
I mean, unless they want to pay to go ahead but I mean, if they're going to build houses.
Right, plus we're building 2 houses, a house on each lot, so all this is going to be a mess. Now, if there's something we can put in the ground now that's going to help later, while we're doing it, that's fine. But those are and then we're doing geothermal for my house, so to the left of that, as it comes down the hill, that's going to be the pit where we run the lines back and forth probably.
So I think we need to figure a good 50, 60 feet. That'll stabilize this where it'll quit the road.
I mean, I would do whatever you think you're never going to touch again. I would go ahead and
do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
if this is going to be right here, it's going to be a road around it. I don't know if it is.
No,
It's not. This just happens to be where all the construction traffic's probably going to be.
Yeah. But I figure from you have a 50-foot buffer off the pond where you're
Correct.
not allowed to do anything. So I think from this road down, if all that could get.
This You know, you get that looking good and seeded, and it's gonna make this stand out.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Right.
And I can still, you can still get that seeded and get a good stand on something, but it might not be as good as this, and then it, you know,
Yeah.
a little bit cheaper. You can spend a little bit less money on the rest of it.
Just to hold dirt for now, and then when
Yeah.
they're done, spend
'Cause
some
you
more.
want to hold all the dirt, you know. You
Right.
don't want, which you got enough rocks. You got some erosion resistance here.
I mean,
It really ain't washed that
it's
bad.
really like during a big rain, you see a little bit of sediment right there on the edge.
This might as well be concrete.
It does. I mean,
Yeah.
it does not.
This is GEC, I think, is the soil type, if I'm
Believe.
remembering right.
At this point in time,
Georgian
when it rains,
clay.
like it doesn't even
Oh,
get muddy.
Giorgio silt.
Yeah, I think that's
I
it.
was gonna say it's got a lot of silt in it. It's a real silty clay.
So what all can I have you do?
Well, I can do as much as you want done. I mean,
Okay.
Because
Because
what I would do, you know, if you want to go to the compost, and I mean, if you want to get it seeded this year and seeded this fall,
yes.
you're gonna need to get it seeded. I would recommend planting fescue and ryegrass, just
Okay.
because that's the time of the year. Ideally, I would love to put Bermuda around it, but you're the wrong time of the year.
Right.
You know, that's more of a springtime
Say
seed.
late spring, early summer,
Yeah,
June time.
late April to 1st of June.
Okay.
You need to get it so it gets spread and take over. But I mean, I would recommend bringing compost in, let Chris spread it with his dozer while you're here.
Okay.
Because I mean, to put enough out to make it worth doing.
What do we need to do about the lime? If he goes ahead and puts lime on this, is it going to wash off?
Yeah.
So it needs to be.
I brought
broke?
my stuff to take a soil test.
Okay.
I got some I got to send off in a few weeks.
Okay.
So just to see where we're at. You know,
Right.
I've
Did
seen
you have it tested?
We did some in the front, and then it was I did a little bit, but not enough. Right.
Yeah.
We need to do something back here now. It was
This
more
is
the
just
front.
like an agricultural type soil test where you just see what kind of nutrients is in the ground, what's your pH, you know, what's your CEC and stuff like that.
I mean, sweet gums are currently struggling.
Yeah, if they're struggling, you know,
Yeah.
it's pretty rough. But you know, you didn't have no seed bank, being that this was all cleared.
Yeah.
So you didn't have a grass and weed seed bank.
Yeah.
You know, because it's been in forest land for so long. So that's one reason why you're not seeing a lot. And I'm guessing like a lot of this dirt was probably 6 foot down in the ground, or.
I mean, this from like right here and everything, all this was cut out for the pond, but we did take some of the tops of with brown dirt. If it wasn't red, and spread over top of it. But I mean, when it's broke up and wet, it's brown.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a topsoil looking.
Yeah.
When that is wet, that does turn to topsoil.
Yeah. It looks like.
It looks like topsoil, but it
Not
ain't.
necessarily topsoil. It just looks like it. But yeah, I mean, I'm saying it ain't red, bright red.
It
clay.
ain't bright red clay.
Yeah.
So,
I guess where I'm coming from, my approach to it would be, I hired Chris to put in a pond. He did a great job. Pond looks great.
Yeah.
So I want to hire you to have grass.
Okay.
So that however long, if you say 6 months, a year, whatever time frame we get at the end, I want to be like, wow, man, this grass is great. You did a great job. That kind of thing. So I don't want to. We've tried some little stuff, and you know, we got to do a big approach from somebody who knows what the hell they're doing now.
Yeah.
So, you know, if that's compost, whatever that is.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
You know, you get some people that might come in here and say, let's hydroseed it. Well, hydroseed, you're not fixing the dirt. You know,
Right.
you'll get a stand, and I don't see where it would live. You know.
it won't. Yeah. I mean, you can spray it on there. And
Hydroseed, you'll get a stand quick, but it might die. you
Right.
know.
Okay.
So it would be nice to work that compost in deep, but I don't know. We got so much of a slope.
Right.
That's what we're trying to avoid, erosion
Yeah.
as much as possible. That's what I was telling
I mean,
you.
you get this stuff loose. We're gonna have to hit the weather just right.
Okay.
And we'll have to hit the range just right. What I would recommend doing is let's go ahead and I'll get the soil test and get the maybe start hauling the compost in and staging it. You know, just let them pile it every so often, put a pile, and then when the weather looks right and it's getting close to seed, that you come here and spread it, and I come in with tillage equipment.
So how
tear it
deep
up
would you
and drill.
break it up? I mean, really for grass, what, 4 to 6 inches?
Yeah, 4 to 6 inches. I'd hate to. I mean, I would love to take a chisel plow and run through
And
it.
rip it all up,
And
but I'm
rip
gonna
it
tell you
all
what's
up.
true. You're gonna create some more work.
Yeah, and then there's gonna be a lot of root picking up.
Yeah.
I root raked it, and I power raked it, but you know, it was cleared land, so there's still
Oh, I know.
there's still roots in
That's
the
what I
ground.
say. I'd love to do that, but I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
I would say come in here with a disc. And
Now, am I
till-
gonna need to run that power rake over it And
That's up to you.
depends on how smooth he wants it. I mean, he wants
I've
to be able
got
to mow
a-
it with a zero
I
turn.
got a field
Yeah.
cultivator that does a real good job, and then, you know, something this much size, I would say let me drill it with my no-till drill.
Well, that's
not
what, so
not
I
for no-till, but it'll get the seed in the ground.
that's what I was telling him this spring. He wanted to do it again, but I was like, well, it's not a no-till, and with all these rocks on the surface,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have done anything but just bend all the wheels,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, mine are playing in this right now.
Yeah.
But
Well, you got
again, you're not fixing the ground, you know. We need to go
Right.
and get the ground fixed.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend doing. That's what I would do. Leader and
See, we got some grass back here where Chris hand seeded and put.
Well, we also put
Something.
straw down.
True.
And the little bit of topsoil that was on this job is all on the back of this dam.
yeah.
The only problem with the topsoil from here, it come out of the bottom of the pond. So it was like in the wintertime, it turns back to that mud almost.
Yeah.
So it stays. I mean, you said that like
Yeah.
in the springtime when you tried to mow it.
Yeah,
it's
you
that
forget
old
that.
fine, silty, that bottomland stuff. So when it
Yeah.
gets wet, it turns.
No gumbo.
It's gumbo. So
I'm gonna have to get one of those robot mowers. You seen those?
Oh no, man! You can do that with a zero turn right there.
I kill myself doing that with a zero turn. I'm just not good
he's
enough.
from the city. So.
Yeah. You know.
Well,
But the good thing is all the pine trees are coming back.
yeah, it'll stabilize them real quick. You don't want to let that happen.
No.
No, you need to.
If you can keep trees off a dam, you.
But I mean, if he
better
just
off.
literally just mows that, that's gonna kill that
Oh,
because
yeah.
once it's chopped off,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna come back.
Yeah.
Now, something like this, you might want to say, can you get on there with your skid steer and run that ruckus rate?
Majority of it, yes, as long as it's dry.
Yeah, I would say somewhere like that, you're gonna need that. And you know, maybe where we get to it and say, hey, run that thing around the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
that may be the tool of choice.
At the end there,
Yeah.
once it's this end to fluff it up. Because I know, like, after you run the cultivator over it, it's gonna be fluffed up and look rough. But once it settles down, it'll be smoother on it.
Yeah. And I got a big roller I can bring and run, but the contour and all, it ain't gonna do as good a job packing back down.
Yeah.
It's an option.
And it all boils down to the weather. I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean, the ideal time to seed that fescue is probably from the 15th of September till the 30th of October.
so you got
But
a 45.
you
I'd
wait-
say a 30-day window from.
But, you know,
September.
we
Right.
have a tendency of getting dry somewhere
Yeah.
in the fall.
Right.
Unless we get a hurricane, that can be our driest time of the year. So you're really waiting. You want to get everything ready and be ready to jump on it real quick as soon as the rain starts.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the equipment you would need is all stuff you could bring from the house.
Yeah, I mean the skid steer and I mean the dozer.
Yeah.
So the dozer would be the biggest
The
thing.
dozer. That'll probably be on another job by then, but I can bring the track loader over here
Yeah.
and spread that out.
Yeah.
How many loads do you think in an acre?
I've always said an inch of compost is 5 loads to the acre.
So that would be
Yeah.
100 yards.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of always figured out.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I'd have to do the actual math, but I've did it, you know.
So we're probably around 4 acres of what we're talking about to begin with, I think. You got what, a couple over there,
Yeah, I
And
mean, if
you
we
got
do from the
around.
trucks down around, but
4 or 5. I don't
are
know.
we trying to do the head section up there too? All that? Are I mean, you're kind of ready.
Yeah, I want to be done with what we can be done with.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got
5
construction
acres,
happening.
25 loads of compost.
But I think we need do it from your camper down.
I agree.
From the camper all the way over. I don't even know if I would worry about anything on that hillside right now.
No, because we're
If you're
definitely
gonna
going
do the
to.
house and
That's
the
where,
geothermal, all that's gonna get destroyed.
and that's where all
Septic.
that's where all the construction people's going to park. You know that.
Let's just figure from the ditch right there all the way to your camper. Don't touch anything.
Maybe do the strip at the.
Maybe the bottom down there.
Yeah,
'cause where the
so that's
trees
just
are.
done.
And in that whole area.
That whole hillside
Yeah.
and that little triangle where the dozer's at. And what about the front up there?
What are you doing?
What about the acre or so up there that we just cleared?
Oh yeah, we need to do. Well, a lot of that's getting gravel. Not all of it.
Not
but
all of it, but
Parking lot area.
You
But
would
yeah,
prefer-
everywhere else.
beside
Yes.
the house, you would like it to look.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we probably are pushing 4 to 5 acres.
Yeah. So that's 25 loads. What we just said. Is that
I
right?
would say roughly 25 loads.
And what are we a load now?
We'll have to
With-
figure that out.
Yeah, I do math. But,
Don't attack me. Get Chris.
so, no more from me.
The old stuff probably is good.
Okay.